use a tape measure, ruler. Hold on. Also going to need some, what's it called? Tissue paper to make your pattern pieces. Okay. Some fabric, about 2.5 yards. Some fabric for the lining for your bodice front and bodice back. Okay. You need a sewing machine, an ironing board, an iron, and some pins. Okay? And I think that should be it. Oh, and fusible interfacing for your collar. It should say it on the back there of what you need for the collar and stuff. You need a pattern that has a collar. I use this one. It has a collar, and then you're going to recycle the sleeve, and then you're going to use the bodice, but you're going to have to alter the bodice, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay? So from the pattern you need bodice 1, back of the bodice 2, and then number 3, the collar, and then 4, the sleeve. So you need 1, 2, 3, and 4 from this pattern that I showed you a picture of earlier. Okay? And you're going to alter the bodice and the bodice back. Like I said, you should find the pattern with the collar. This is the collar I'm using. Look for this number. And try to look for the picture I showed you earlier. Alright, so you're going to need a collar from this pattern. This is the bodice from that pattern, but I altered it. And this is the back side. What you're going to do, instead of having the darts and stuff in the pattern, you're going to make this a straight piece of pattern paper from there. Everything is going to be the same from that pattern except for the straight edge. Okay? Okay, so this is the bodice front. What I did was I made a swoop across, and then I taped it on, and then I made it straight. To make this round edge, you're going to take some tissue paper, and you're going to measure 12 inches straight, and then find the center of that piece of paper, and you're going to take your ruler, and you're going to pivot to get the round edge. And then when you get that, you're going to place this at the top of the pattern. You're going to do the same thing that we did for the bodice back by making it straight and taking out the darts and the neck. But when you add the round edge, you match up the edge, and then you cut along that line and then into the neck to get the curve. Okay? And then you're going to pin it on to the bodice, and then you should get something that looks like this. Okay? So it should have a straight edge, straight across. Then you're going to pin on your round edge or tape it, and then you're going to cut up the neck and then the top edge. Okay? Then you're going to need the sleeve from that pattern, like so. And then the idea to make the part for my puff sleeve is I took like a flare type sleeve pattern, like that looks like this. And then what I did was I traced from the edge all the way around and then across this line right here. And then you should get something that looks like this right here. See it? It's white. That pattern. And I'll tell you what the size of that from if you want to try to make your own. Your puff sleeve, if you don't have the pattern piece like I just showed you, this is a size 10 going up, and then across is, hold on, 21 inches across. Now what we're going to do is we're going to enlarge this, so you're going to need some tissue paper for that. What I did was I took my original pattern that we traced, put it on some tissue paper, and then made it, hold on a sec, 2 inches higher, going up and then all the way around, and then going across. It's really large. See, it goes from all the way over there, and that measured, hold on, okay, so what I did was I took my original pattern and I traced this first line out with it, and then from here all the way up it's 11 inches and a half, and then from here all the way to the end is 26 inches across. Okay, that'll be your measurement for your puff sleeve, but you can use the original pattern you had for the help for the shape of your pattern. Okay, so you're going to pin your sleeve on the selvage like this, then your back bodice piece to the edge of the fold, then your collar is going to be on the fold, and then you're going to move it down to make another one, then your sleeve, and then your front bodice on the selvage. Okay, and then you're going to pin and then cut out. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pattern again, and then you're going to put your bodice back on the fold on some lining fabric, and do the same for your front. So you should have 2 front pieces and 2 back, 1 full complete back piece of your bodice. Okay? Okay, so you're going to put all your markings into your shirt from your original bodice. This is what you're going to put the sleeve marking here, and do this to your lining as well. Okay? Now what we're going to do is put stay stitching right here all the way to here, and then what that is the long stitch, and don't forget to back stitch, and you're also going to do that to your lining fabric as well, right here. Okay, that's the long stitch, and don't forget to back stitch. Okay, now you're going to sew from this corner all the way around the edge, and then down the edge here, and then that's it for that part. Okay, and don't forget to backstitch. You're gonna line your fabric up with the sewing foot, and then sew. Okay, because we want the smallest hem ever. Alright. Right sides together too before you sew. I forgot to mention that. Alright? You're going to clip your curves and then trim where you sewed the seam. Okay? So, but careful not to be cut the seam. So clip and trim. Alright? And now we're going to go press the seam. Pull your right sides out, press. You're going to sew pin, and you're going to sew this up the sleeve, over, and down in. And don't forget to backstitch. And then you're going to repeat the steps for your other panel. Okay? So you're going to put your stay stitching back. You're going to put it in this neck area with your green whatever fabric you stay stitching, both stitched together. Then after that, you're going to put your right sides together, and you're going to sew along the bottom. Okay? Now you're just going to sew on the edge that we did not press, all the way around the neck and down the armpit and down to the end. Don't forget to reverse stitch. Okay? You're going to put your right sides together and pin across the shoulder, and then the side seam, and then you're going to sew this at a 5/8, and you're going to do that to the other side with your other panel. Okay? Put right sides together and don't forget to backstitch. So what you're going to do is I made a mistake in the beginning. You're going to cut 2 inches off, which I already did. There was more fabric here. So you're gonna have a 2-inch strip, and then you're going to make a guideline for your where you're gonna sew, and you're gonna want that to be at this little dot right here, and then you're just gonna mark that all the way down. And then you're gonna mark the center dot, and then the dots on your fabric. So you're gonna mark your pattern. You're gonna put the center dot, and then the triangle, and then the dot, and then you've got triangle over here, and then you're gonna put your dot, and then you're going to measure the thickness of your puff, and then measure that to the edge of your sleeve, and then you're gonna draw a line, and then you're gonna find the center. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to put 2 rows of gathering stitches in there from here all the way to the curve. You're going to do 2 rows of that, and then you're going to put 2 rows of gathering stitches starting here above your line that you drew and ending here. You're going to do 2 rows of that. This is your sleeve, and you're going to put gathering stitches in from here all the way to your other corner. Do 2 rows, okay? That's the long stitch on your machine. Put your right sides together from your puff, and you're going to match the center dot with the line on the center dot. And then you're going to match the line that we drew with the line on the front side and pin the edge. And then you're just going to pull your gathering thread up to make it fit, okay? Now that you've got this gathered up, now you're going to sew within this line, but when you get to the ruffles, sew on the bumps, and then back within the line, okay? Now you're going to push it up and sew a little bit above there, crossed. And now we're going to match our center dot up here, and then we're going to pull the gathers in from the back and from this piece and this piece to fit, okay? And pin as you go. Once you got both pieces gathered, you're going to pin it all together, and then you're going to sew it together. Alright? Sew this edge together. Sew this, then you're going to sew your side seam right sides out, and then you're going to do your cuff. Now we're going to pin this to our shirt, and we're going to tie. You're going to put your right sides together, matching your underarm seam and the dot at the top, and then the 2 dots on the side. And then you're going to sew all around inside, okay? So you're going to put your fusible interfacing on, your manufacturer, and then you're going to pin and baste right sides together of your eyelet of your collar, okay? Your other piece without the interfacing, you're going to press the bottom edge at a 5/8, okay? Now you're going to sew up the edge at a 1/4 seam, stopping at your folded edge, alright? Then you're going to sew a little bit off the corner here, and then you're going to trim it on each side, and then you're going to put right sides out, okay? So you're going to pin your right sides to the outside of your collar, and then you're going to sew this, and then when you're done sewing, clip the curve, okay? So now you're going to press your edge up, and then you're going to pull this down, and you're going to slip stitch on this edge, okay? That's where you take a little bit of the front and then go through, and then after that you should be done, okay?